Free mind, you crazy for this. Soulful. It's like our responsibility to make us feel something. You know, to make people feel. Make people feel what we feeling. Hey, yo.
Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show, and this is a show that we have been doing for a very long time. This show has been on for a while, and during this show on Sunday night, we basically come together as a comic book community, and we spend a little bit of time talking about some news and current events, things that are top of mind for me and might also be top of mind for you. And in addition to that, we essentially try to get the week started on the right foot. And as part of that, I give you a rundown of some of the content that is going to be coming out from my channel over the course of this week. And I do believe that there are some cool videos that will be dropping. And in addition to that, there's a live stream that I'll tell you guys a little bit about in a hot second. I am in the middle of a full-blown allergy attack. I don't know what happened. Put a mask on. I went to go spray some weeds, and then boom, it hit me. I don't know what's going on. I took some children's Benadryl and promptly went to sleep. I promptly went to sleep, woke up, and still had an allergy flare up. So I don't know what's going on, but we will persevere. Nevertheless, it is good to see everybody. I definitely appreciate you all taking time out of your Sunday night to join us. I heard a lot of people hit some cons this weekend. Heard a lot of people up in I know folks in Canada hit a con. I know that there were a few other cons in various places around the country. So hopefully you all had a great time. I heard that Doug had a great appearance on Joe's channel on Friday. So hopefully folks had an opportunity to check that out. Let me scroll through some of the comments here. Randy or Snake is up in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Tina, it is always good to see you, my friend. Liger Styles up in the house. Chris Bigger's up in here. Trev, the shipping guru. How you doing, brother? Chris Bigger. Always good to see you, brother. I was searching earlier today in my emails for Chris Bigger because he is one of those Swoldier reporters that sends me all kinds of things that he sees out there in the world of comics and collectibles. So I had to do a quick search to make sure that I was casting a wide net. Phil-tastic. Have a field-tastic day. That's what's up. Frog Brawler, how you doing? Brian LCS is up in the house. It's good to see you, brother. Scrolling through, Master Blaster, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Bulldog is up in here. All right, so let me give me one hot second. I don't know how we're going to get through this show. I took some medicine right before this show, so we will see whether it kicks in and helps me just a little bit. Do I see Vox up in here? Do I see Vox? Oh, how you doing? How you doing, Vox? It's good to see you, brother. Yeah, and here's what's funny. Somebody sent me a message the other day. Said, Reggie, do you have the first print of Miles Morales' first appearance? And I said, no. I don't know why I said no, but I said no. And then I was like, wait a minute. I think I do have that book. And I came in here and I looked on the wall and I was like, that is not the first print. I accidentally put the second print on the wall and did not realize it until that person asked me a question, and I kind of dug into it and realized that I had the first print in a bin. So I went and retrieved that, took the second print off the wall, put the first print up. There you go. So now definitely a cool wall. No doubt about it. Definitely a cool wall. There are a couple of the issue number 1 variants that I'm missing from there, but fingers crossed at some point I'll be able to scoop those up. We shall see. It's not exactly a priority right now, brother. So I had some Flonase earlier, a little while ago up the nose. I had some Claritin and also took some children's Benadryl, and this is still going on. So I used to sell Rhinocort Aqua, which is for seasonal and perennial rhinitis. And I swear by Rhinocort. I say that is one of the best allergy medicines I've ever used. And it was great back when I used to sell it and cover it as a sales rep. I used to get it for free. It was great, but ever since then, you got to pay for it. So scrolling through, Lee, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Like a room full of celebrities with all these CBC nominees in the house. Shout out to everybody that was nominated for an award. It hit me the other day when Doug and I were having a conversation. I do believe, and please somebody correct me, I do believe that my channel is, thanks to you all, is the second most nominated YouTube channel for the second year in a row. Last year we were nominated for 5, we won 4. This year we're nominated for 7. And I don't know how many we're going to win, but I'm going to tout that most nominated channel for 2 years in a row as long as I can. So shout out to everybody that is in the room right now that opted to nominate the channel for the Comic Book Community Awards. I absolutely appreciate all of you all. And I've kind of not said it because we had somebody on the channel last week that was representing the awards, and I wanted to separate kind of sort of those two things. So there's a ton of stuff we're going to get to here in a moment, but let me give you guys a quick rundown of some of the content that's going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. In a live stream this week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the Comics Today show. And in that live stream, I'm going to be joined by someone that is going to help me to unbox these right here and to make sense of what the heck these things are. These are the Spider-Man, I guess they're called the Spider-Man, right? Metal cards. Yeah, I guess they are Spider-Man metal cards, Marvel Universe. We're going to unbox this. I hear that these things are, for some reason or another, going for like $500 right now, which I think is redunculous. That is a redunculous amount of money. Look how small that is, okay? This thing does not take up much room at all. I am so underwhelmed by the overall size of this box and these cards versus a regular comic. If I were a card collector, do you know how empty this room would be if that's all that I collected? This room would be absolutely empty if this is all that I had was cards. But we're going to unbox these things during the Wednesday live show. That's not all that we're going to do, but I mean, there's only a handful of cards, so it can't be a whole show. But in addition to that live stream on Wednesday, I'm going to show you guys this week some comics that I am taking to my grave. And yes, that sounds a little morbid, but I don't care. I'm going to show you books that will go inside the casket as they put me under the earth. Not really, but there's a point there. I also did a submission. I did a submission into CGC of some Marvel trading cards. I have a video. I recorded it. I'm going to release that video this week. And then I'm also, fingers crossed, going to be able to do the CGC top 10 countdown. This is where I get the list from CGC of all the books that people are sending into them. I run down the top 10 most submitted books into CGC. I get a full list of 20, but I only highlight the top 10. And then sometimes I sprinkle in some surprises that are on the list. Fingers crossed that I can get my computer to function and cooperate, and I'll be able to release that video this week. If not that video, I have a couple of backups that will be released. So those are the live streams and also the pre-recorded videos that will be dropping this week. In addition, we will have the podcast that is going to drop on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're available on all the podcasting platforms. All you have to do is search for Regie Collects, and you should be able to find me. And on Wednesday, we're also going to be doing the short boxed giveaway. There was a video that was released. When was that video released? I'm scrolling. I'm looking through my my list here. I don't know when it was released. There was a video that Shortbox sponsored. I think it was on. I don't know when it was, but it was a video. You comment on that video, you get in the running to win a $100 credit from the folks over at Shortboxed. All you have to do is just comment, and I randomly pick a winner from that. So that is the content that's going to be coming out from the channel. I'm definitely excited about this one. I'll be honest. I'm definitely excited about that. I paid a lot of money for those, not $500, but a healthy amount of money, and I've been waiting, I want to say since either December or January for this box to arrive, and it finally did. And I cannot wait to unbox it to see what it is that I may have picked up. I spent a little time on the sofa today and I watched a movie. I watched a movie that I originally saw a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was out a couple of weeks ago. It did not come out until the 26th, which was 2 days ago. And it is this movie right here, The Samaritan. The Samaritan, it is basically a superhero movie, minus honestly special effects. It was more of a fighting type of movie. There were some special effects, but to be completely honest with you, I think most of the budget went to Sylvester Stallone. But this dropped on Amazon Prime, and it's not often that I get a chance to actually talk about anything on Amazon Prime because I don't think that their shows, in my opinion, are particularly good versus a lot of the other streaming platforms that are out there. But I like Sylvester Stallone, and I have for a very, very long time. So I watched it. It was okay. It was not a movie that will blow you away. There are a few funny moments in the movie. It is what you would expect from a Sylvester Stallone movie, right? A lot of fighting, not that great of dialogue, action scenes that were okay, right? But I enjoyed it. I don't mind a good B movie. I don't mind a good B movie. And that's pretty much what this one was. But if you have Amazon Prime, I definitely, I would say check it out if you have a little bit of free time. So, what is that? Steve says he's digging in the collection right now. That's what's up, Steve. Dig. When you dig in your shorts, brother. I don't know if you should broadcast that. I'm gonna just, I don't know. Who is that? Expensive paper. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate, I appreciate all love. Whether it be an email, a DM, a comment, a view, and I also appreciate when people share some of their expensive paper with me. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. What is that? Stallone was awesome in Copland. I don't know that I've seen that. I don't know that I've seen that one. I may have to check that one out. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. It took me back to the 90s movies. Yeah. I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree with that. Samaritan is definitely worth the price of admission, says Lewis. That's what's up. Hug from a gibbon. Oh my goodness, you guys are hilarious. All right, so if you get a chance, watch The Samaritan. I also saw what's the new one? The new Game of Thrones. The Last Dragon, something with it. I don't remember. Whatever it was. I saw episode 1. I don't know what you guys think of that. I'm definitely curious. I was not exactly blown away. Like I thought it was good. But I was not exactly blown away by it. So I'm waiting for House of Dragon. Thank you. Sweet Christmas. Could not remember that one. It was not a good movie. It was not a good movie. The Samaritan is a couple of steps above the last Rambo. Okay. House of Dragons. There you go. So I watched it. It was not bad. It was not bad. At various points, I had a tough time with some of the dialogue, and I may need to watch it again. But I enjoyed it. The Game of Thrones finally got me worried. I'm good. Last Rambo was ungood, says Steve White. Stallone and tattoos are not a good combo. Well done. I'm going to skip this dragon thing. I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. It felt like they ruined the last 2 seasons. I'm not wanting to go through that again, says Frog Brawler. I have zero expectations for the House of Dragons or whatever. What is House of Dragon? All right. Zero expectation. What's funny, Doug, is that after the first 2 minutes the show was on, I immediately pulled up my phone and tried to search for the Blue Ocean videos that we did related to the Game of Thrones prequel, right? And for the life of me, Doug, I could not find these videos. I went searching for them. I got up off the I paused the episode, got off of the sofa, came up here to the comic book room to search on the computer, still couldn't find it. 20 minutes went by. I was like, forget this. I'm gonna go back downstairs. So I went back downstairs and I watched it. Super honorable nephew, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Says I stopped watching Game of Thrones after season 3. Steve White says I enjoyed the first episode of House of Dragon. It's very much like I find it to be a little slower. I find it to be a little, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like Game of Thrones had characters that were more compelling and interesting and dynamic to watch on screen. But maybe that's my impression of them after watching several seasons versus after the first episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still trying to figure out, like, what was Game of Thrones like episode 1 season 1 versus House of Dragons episode 1 season 1. I'm not quite I'm not able to do the fair comparison, right? But I don't know. I don't feel like I'm committed. I don't feel like I'm committed yet. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate it. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and we will get here momentarily to the theme of this show, because there is one big thing that we want to talk about. But before I get to that, there's something else I wanted to talk about. I've made comments over the last couple of months about the lack of interest in the Fantastic Four. Like, I, again, cannot remember being interested in the last, I would say maybe at least year, maybe 2 years in the Fantastic Four, right? In new Fantastic Four, right? And then I saw this. And then I saw this, and I am intrigued. I am intrigued to see where this may go. The Fantastic Four is relaunching with a new creative team in November. And I will tell you that what they came up with to promote this, I find extremely hokey. I'm hoping that this is not indicative of what we are going to see in the comic, but Marvel has announced that Ryan North and I have no clue. I don't know how you say this man's name, as that there's some new people that are behind the Fantastic Four, okay, that is being rebooted in November. And you can see one of the images right here. This is the Thing and his wife. They are, that's an interesting depiction of the Thing. It really is. It feels like one of his maybe 70s versions, 80 versions of him with the helmet head. But the drawing is clean. The drawing is clean. This was actually released by the artist, I think, on the Twitters. Following a teaser release during Comic-Con in San Diego, Marvel Comics has revealed the new creative team of the Fantastic Four following writer Dan Slott's upcoming departure from the title. Scrolling through, get to maybe a little bit of the meat of this thing. Here you can see some of the images, a little preview from the first issue of Fantastic Four. He says that Ryan North's work on the script is outstanding. Again, some relatively clean pencils that we are seeing on this thing. But what's interesting is that, and let me read this passage to you. It says, I want to do these smaller, self-contained stories in the vein of a 60s Star Trek. How can you go wrong? A 60s Star Trek where they go down to a planet, find a weird thing, fix the weird thing, and move on. And this is the writer talking to Entertainment Weekly. He says, having these 4 weirdos roll into a town where everything's a mystery or problem or some sci-fi thing, solve the problem, and then move on struck me as a very interesting way to position the Fantastic Four and tell stories that would feel fresh and not like a retread of something that we've seen before. Fingers crossed that we do get something good. I think the first issue of this thing will depict the Thing and his wife going to some town where they experience basically Groundhog Day over and over again. And again, that's what they're alluding to, is something weird happening to them. But I guess it's going to be a little bit of a sci-fi space odyssey in which they travel the universe, beaming down or going down to planets and getting into all kinds of craziness. Fingers crossed that they can bring some excitement back to the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family. So we will see what happens with that. This is that Frank Miller? Yeah, that's a Frank Miller. This is not a new cover. I don't think that. I think this is something that Frank did a while ago that they decided to dust off and bring back for a cover for the Fantastic Four. But again, this is the hokey thing. The guy, the writer's name is North. So they released a compass with the Fantastic Four, and they have the writer at North, hence his name, and then the artist at South. Again, just a little hokey, but it is what it is. So fingers crossed that this new series that is going to be dropping in November is a good one. Let me go to the chat real quick and see what you guys are talking about. Maybe somebody is commenting on this story. Let me scroll down just a little bit. There we go. Getting a better position for that. Super honorable nephew is like, yeah, I don't like that Frank Miller cover. I am not mad at you, brother. It is not exactly a good cover. It is not exactly a good cover. I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. There you go. What is that? Myself in comics, not liking the Frank Miller. Yeah, that I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. You guys are hilarious. I hope, what is that comment here? Comic Noob. I hope at least the stories might be good because the drawings are I don't know. I don't know about that. I kind of dig this. Let me see if I can pull this up. I want to pull this up in a different way. Let me zoom in on this thing and then I'll share with you what we're looking at here. See if I can get a couple of these things pulled up. I don't think that the drawing's terrible. I mean, it's different. It's different. Let me take that off the screen. I want to share my screen a different way so you guys can get a look at some of the others. So this is one of the pages right there. Again, I don't think that that's terrible. I don't think that that's terrible. It's a different type of thing versus, you know, his regular oval head. He has a little bit of what is that, a World War I doughboy helmet look going on. Let me share another one with you guys. There were 3 of them that were actually released. I'm only going to share the 2 just because of all the toggling that I have to do. This is another page from inside. Again, not terrible drawing. You know, looks like the thing is squaring off against a pickup truck there, maybe a Chevy. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a Ford, built Ford, tough. But the truck had no chance. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this. I will tell you, I'll probably pick up the first couple of issues and then see what happens. There was a comment here. The inside art look, yeah, the inside looks good. Again, I think that cover from Frank Miller was not. That was not. Oh my goodness, what is that? Things head always changes slightly from artist to artist. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that artists want to put their own little spin on it, right? They want to have a little bit of creative freedom and some liberties with it. So I'm not terrible. I'm not mad at them, right? Helmet head, no doubt about it. It's definitely a doughboy. Definitely has a doughboy look going on, no doubt about it. All right. So let me go ahead and let me talk about this, the main story today. So we have, over the last few weeks and months, spent a lot of time talking about what is happening at Warner Brothers and how David Salav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, has, talked about this 10-year plan that he wants to roll out for their superhero department. He talks about trying to find somebody like Kevin Feige that can come on and create that vision and help guide them down a good path. They canceled the Batgirl movie, and that had a lot of people upset as a result of that. All of the chaos that is going on with Ezra Miller, and he finally checked himself in the rehab, and hopefully he's getting the help that he deserves. The reboots, we're going to go in this direction versus that direction. We're going to cancel this show. We're going to cancel this. We're going to not do that thing we said that we were going to do. Warner Brothers is in a little bit of chaos. It's in a little bit of chaos, no doubt about it. And now we are starting to see that chaos is having a dramatic impact on the value of Warner Brothers itself. And I'm not saying that it's related directly to what is happening with the superhero stuff, but what I am saying is that shareholders are potentially seeing chaos across the board, as exemplified in what we see happening with superheroes. And so when we dig into this article, that appeared on I think it was Big Freaking Robot, Giant Freaking Robot. Basically, it highlights here that Warner Brothers Discovery has lost $20 billion in value. And Chris Bigger sent this over to me a couple of days ago, probably the day that it was published. $20 billion is what Warner Brothers Discovery has lost as a result of bringing these two companies together. And I'm guessing they found some synergies, but they found some duplicity that had to be eliminated. But with all of the chaos, $20 billion. The Warner Brothers Discovery merger was a huge shakeup for the industry, and the transition into a new, larger company has been anything but smooth. The merger has been riddled with controversial decisions that have made analysts, casual observers, I think that's us, and even Hollywood celebs scratch their head. These decisions haven't been without their consequences. Since the Warner Discovery merger, the company has plummeted by $20 billion in value. That is significant. You have to assume that they anticipated some downside, but to the tune of $20 billion, I'm not quite sure. And I think if there is motivation to right the ship, 20 billion is a very big number. So when Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Salaf sent out his plans for a newly merged company, he announced the goal of cutting costs by 3 billion. I don't know that I saw that before. I don't know that I saw that they were attempting to cut costs to the tune of 30 billion. Again, they found probably a lot of overlap between these two organizations, from the creative projects that they were probably pursuing all the way through the staff, right? The creative staff, the billing staff, the accounting, all the attorneys. They found probably a lot of overlap, and so they went on this cost-cutting mission to trim back $3 billion. And it says, now, obviously, this cost-cutting doesn't necessarily affect the stock price, but you have to imagine that shareholders aren't happy with the dip. Back in April, Warner Brothers Discovery had a market cap of $49 billion. $49 billion. As of today, that number, their market cap, is sitting at around $31 billion. I mean, this is all monopoly money. Let's be completely honest. It's all monopoly money, but to shareholders, to average people that may have Warner Brothers in a mutual fund or a retirement account of some form, and investors, this is material. And it says, add to the fact that the company is holding $55 billion in debt. Sweet Christmas. Sweet Christmas. You have more debt than your company is worth at this moment. That is ridiculous. 55 billion in debt, and that's not a good look. Oh man, you can tell when you are not reading, when you're reading more of a casual news article, because good look is not something that you would see in like the Wall Street Journal, or even the Motley Fool probably wouldn't say a good look. The article just kind of goes on. It says, most of the blame is being placed on David, who continues to disappoint shareholders and customers with his decisions. His most urgent goal, to merge HBO Max and Discovery Plus, has been met with tepid enthusiasm at best. Perhaps the most controversial decision came in the form of all the content that is being cut or canceled on the HBO Max platform. And then they have the photo of Batgirl right there. The cuts started with some beloved DC shows on the CW, including Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow. These were certainly a blow to the fan of these shows. These cancellations were nothing compared to the next major cut that would be made for DC cancellation of DC content, the cancellation of a nearly complete Batgirl movie. The industry was shocked when a movie with a $90 million sunk into production was basically shelved. And with the reason being a tax write-off. I think we heard tax write-off, but I think we also heard that it wasn't good. And then I think there was some commentary from David Salab that was interpreted that that Batgirl movie would have been detrimental and harmful to the IP. I do believe that that's basically the way that it was characterized. So I think it was first a tax write-off, and then he came out and basically said this would damage the brand if memory serves. The killing of anticipated content, which doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon. The most recent victim of the cancellation spree was an upcoming animated series by Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams, and the creator of the acclaimed Batman, the animated series. So again, this article just goes on to kind of chronicle some of the additional things that are happening. The big takeaway here is that this is not a good look for Warner Brothers. This is not a good look at all. And again, if you are a shareholder or an investor, this is probably definitely a blow. So let me go to the chat real quick. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, Harvey Abel. Scrolling through what else you guys are talking about. Damage the brand by canceling everything. But sure, one movie is gonna ruin DC. There you go, Clay. What is that? You can't damage the brand much more than it already is, says Pad Bear J. Fingers crossed that they get themselves together and they write the show. I was scrolling up through some of the comments because I think I wonder if the Batgirl movie will ever be leaked to the public. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Wait, what beloved show, says Steve Conge? Is that sarcasm? Is that sarcasm? Not too big to fail, equal ungood right there. So you're saying that the real dollar Swoldier Publishing is worth 20. I wish. Scrolling through, do we see a government bailout in their future, says Joey Stuntmaster. I am scrolling up through the comments still. All right. I'm all caught up, I think. Let me scroll back down to the bottom, see if anything else came in. Okay, I'm all caught up. I am all caught up. So again, just some really interesting stuff. For those folks that may have come in a little bit late, we are spending a little bit of time talking about what is happening at Warner Brothers right now as a result of everything that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks and maybe even a couple of months. A lot of the changes and the decisions that are being made at Warner Brothers Discovery, we are now finding out it is having a detrimental impact on the valuation of the newly formed company. They have basically lost $20 billion in revenue. And at this point, they have debts close to or at $55 billion, which is more debt than the company's market cap. That's crazy. I wonder how much cash they have on hand. I mean, because that's always a big question. You have to assume that they have a lot of money on hand, but $55 billion in debt is crazy. How is Sony not damaging the Spider-Man brand? Man. They own 900 characters, brother. Own 900. I can't wait. I'm so excited to watch a DC movie. The comics are so much better than what gets put on film, says Matt Woods. Spider-Man is too big to damage, probably. That's the only explanation. That's the only thing that that Trev can say is that Spider-Man is huge, man. Spider-Man is huge. It's tough. It would be really tough. It would be really tough for me to ever walk away from Spider-Man. I'll be completely honest. And let me even be even more honest. I don't think that I've actually sat through a single Spider-Man movie. I don't think that I've ever sat through a single Spider-Man movie. And I don't know why that is. I just don't have an interest in watching the Spider-Man movies. I am one of the biggest Spider-Man fans around. You guys know this, but I have not watched a single one. Myself in comics, it sucks. I followed the Batgirl news since last year. In June, the screenings were mildly positive. Worst review was that it looked like a TV plot due to being seen without the visual effects added, says myself. I had somebody tell me that folks were absolutely not interested in this movie. A lot of people, I have somebody saying that people's awareness of this movie was not high at all. And I'm seeing at least some anecdotal evidence that may not be true. Kingpin, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. What is that? Is that saying a lot of the WB movies suck and aren't profitable? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Even the anti-monitor couldn't damage DC as much as Davis. Oh, Chuck. Chuck is mixing comics and real life incredibly well. Well done there. Well done. Super Pets have failed, and a lot of trust in animation have lost because of this. I don't know what will happen, especially with I think that's CW. Marvel Studios save Spider-Man, says Steve Conge. No, brother. In Feige, we trust. In Feige, we trust, no doubt. 900 characters. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, that's what I do believe that Sony actually owns the rights to, is around 900 characters that are part of the Spider-Man universe. And I covered that a few different times over the last couple of years. So scrolling through some of the comments here real quick. I can't wait for the new Static show on the CW, not the Milestone character just dead. Joey. Ooh, Joey, I was not ready for that. You saved the punchline for the very end, my friend. So for those folks that are coming in a little bit late, we just spent a little time here talking about Warner Brothers having lost $20 billion in valuation as a result of poor decision making by the CEO, David Salav. He was on task to cut $3 billion in spending, and as a result of that may have made some really poor decisions about what to cut, and as a result of the things that he opted to cut, the company has now lost $20 billion. That is a significant amount of revenue. Scrolling through, haven't seen a single one, brother. Haven't seen a single one. And again, maybe, oh no, Sweet Christmas, not the animation. Sweet, I didn't see the whole Into the Spider-Verse either. I've seen parts of it. I've seen parts of the movies, but not the whole thing. Danny, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the live stream, brother. Scrolling through some of the comments here. What is that? I'm scrolling through you guys. You guys are going back and forth. I love it. What is this? So somebody said, if you're a huge Spider-Man fan, if you've never watched a Spider-Man movie, especially the first one, we might have to see. Here's the thing. When you own every single comic that has come out featuring Spider-Man, you have a lifetime membership, my friend. At the end, when you buy that last comic, you get a lifetime membership to the Spider-Man fan club that is irrevocable. No one can take my card, my friend. No one. Scrolling through. Here's the thing. I have seen episodes of the Japanese Spider-Man, and it was also ungood. I think it was from the 70s. It was ungood. It was ungood. Scrolling through the comments. Oh my goodness. Somebody trying to take my card. No, my friend. No, my friend. All right. So, it is not often, if ever, that we talk about Top Cow. I don't think that we've ever spoken about Top Cow. I don't think, unless I was making fun of Chris Bigger, I don't think that we've spoken about Top Cow before. But we are about to talk about some Top Cow right now, ever so briefly, because Top Cow is in the news. They are in the news because of a partnership that they just formed with Global Comics with an X. Global Comics partners with Top Cow and announces downloadable PDF sales model. Global Comics users can now download purchased comics as high quality PDFs for permanent archiving. Digital comics distribution platform Global Comics is teaming up with Top Cow to release high-quality PDF bundles of the publisher's most famous titles. I think it's like all of their titles. Under this new initiative, readers can buy and collect Top Cow titles, including Witch Bay, Postal, The Darkness, and more, which can be downloaded as high-quality PDFs for permanent archiving. They can also be viewed on any device and through the reader's app of choice. This sales model will seemingly allow allow purchasers to share their PDF library with whomever they want without necessarily having to share app logins, or other personal information. I'm not going to read the rest of that. It says each PDF will be uniquely generated for download, meaning that if the original file is deleted, it won't affect the purchaser. Global Comics users can search for titles using a variety of filters, and content owners can set their own prices, run sales, offer free promotional codes, and earn the same revenue share percentage from subscribers and direct sales. Long and short of it, this is a platform that allows creators to share their creations digitally in the form of PDFs for people to be able to read for free or to purchase. Creators and readers alike have been seeking new digital platforms as alternatives to Amazon's Comixology, which in recent months, something that we've talked about, have made a series of changes that have led to widespread criticism about the changes in the app's affected functionality. And so Global Comics seeks to make a bid to become the new digital comics distributor of choice, and allowing users to permanently archive PDFs could be a significant draw. And it says Global Comics generally takes between 25 and 35% of the money readers spend on page credits, but revenue shares agreements may differ between creators. Again, long and short of it, Global Comics, which is a digital platform for comics, partners with Top Cow to basically release their entire catalog digitally in the form of digital PDFs. I will tell you, I'm not a huge fan of this. One of the great things I will tell you about the Marvel Unlimited app was the functionality that they built into that app, where you could zoom in on certain panels, you could swipe doing certain things. This is basically a flat, I'm guessing, a flat non-interactive PDF. I mean, it's great for being able to, have something to read, but it's not as cool as like the Marvel Unlimited app. But I get the appeal. I definitely get the appeal of this, and we will see. I've never heard of Global Comics. I wonder how big their readership is. I think they also have partnered with Valiant. I want to say at one point in this article, I do believe, the full Top Cow library is now available on Global Comics, and new titles will be added at a later date. The site also has works from Valiant, several indie outlets, and individual creators. So I have not yet had a chance to hit the Global Comics website, but I will. I will head over and at least check it out and see what it's all about. Rising Stars on Top Cow was amazing, says Bulldog. That's what's up. Scrolling through, just don't let Sony make Top Cow movies. Gen 14 was part of Image, went back to DC with Jim Lee. Scrolling through, let me see. Cows with libraries there. Well done, Tom. So I will go on and check it out and see what this thing is all about, because you never know. Maybe it's a really great platform. And I think there's a lot of Top Cow stuff that I have not read before, and I definitely want to check it out. I know that Mark Silvestri recently announced that he's doing something with DC again. I think specifically with Batman. So they're definitely making some moves right now, and I applaud them for that. Shout out to all the folks over at Top Cow. Looking for reading recommendations. What was the best team book you've ever read? X-Men, Avengers, FF, or Justice League? Hopefully some people can answer that question for you, brother. Scrolling through, I have a full run. Where was that? I have a full run of Witchblade and Tomb Raider comics and almost all of the Darkness. I found a couple of the Darkness books in the collection, the 100K collection. No Witchblade that comes to mind, and no Tomb Raider that comes to mind. I have not read those. Frank, couple of people shouting out those Top Cow. That's what's up. That's good stuff right there. Scrolling through, JLS, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Climbing Comics, my man Alan. It's good to see you, brother. Welcome. What is that? Is it the first episode of South Park? Well done. All right. So that was the other thing that I wanted to cover off on the Top Cow thing. Let me move that to the side so I can remember to log into Global Comics, because I will forget. Let me stop sharing my screen right there. I think I do have the Darkness. I think I have the Darkness 1 and maybe the Darkness 2. Maybe. There we go. Couple hey, who knew? Who knew that there were so many Top Cow fans out there? So, what did you guys think of the She-Hulk show? Has anybody watched the She-Hulk show on Disney Plus? I think 2 episodes are out right now. I am curious what people think of the show, and I will not spoil it for anybody that has not seen it. I watched episode 1 when it dropped, and I watched episode 2 when it dropped. And Frank says he loved it. Frank says he loves it. Tom says, I heard it's bad. Chris Bigger, this is your day, sir. This is your day. Celebrate the win, Chris Bigger. Celebrate it, brother. Battle of the Planets was Top Cow. That's all I've ever heard of from the company. That's what's up. Steve White, I have enjoyed She-Hulk, he says. Scrolling through, Philtastic says, loving She-Hulk. Zim says, loved it. I like the show very much with exclamation marks from Liger Style. Enjoyable. Chris Bigger says, not too bad for a Marvel movie. Or a Marvel show. That's what you want to say. If it was Top Cow or DC, you'd be all over it. I'm starting to miss Hulk. I'm not lying, says Oh No Blue. Paperback and soundtracks. I like She-Hulk. I will tell you, I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I think the breaking of the fourth wall is fun. We saw a glimpse of that in episode 1. And was there some of that in episode? I think there was some of that in episode 2. Yeah, there was. I enjoy it. I enjoy She-Hulk. I did not have high expectations or really any expectations, honestly, for the show. Went into it hoping to be entertained, and I enjoy the show. I really do. And I would encourage anybody that has not seen it to take a moment and watch it. Take a moment, watch it, and then make up your mind. She-Hulk is plus good. Herman, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Jim says, truly enjoyed She-Hulk. It's not bad. It's love the show, but hate Smart Hulk. I don't mind Smart Hulk. I don't mind. There is a Wolverine Easter egg. Don't ruin it, L. Smith. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't do it. Don't you dare. All right. So let me share this article with you guys. There is a belief out there that She-Hulk is going to get us World War Hulk. Is She-Hulk setting up an MCU World War Hulk where he smashed the entire Marvel universe? Hulk once single-handedly beat up the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and more in comics. Could he do it again in the MCU? She-Hulk episode 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus, and along with progressing the Jennifer Walters narrative as a superhero lawyer, her cousin Bruce also seems to be entering his next chapter or phase, to borrow a Marvel Studios term, following up on the sudden appearance of a ship that caused the accident, resulting in her being transformed into She-Hulk. Again, this article basically goes on to set up the belief that we are going to get World War Hulk as a result of what we are seeing in the She-Hulk show, where Bruce is basically in that you see a ship, causes an accident, and then in episode 2, there's another ship. And I don't want to ruin it for those people that have not seen it, but basically this article that was on comicbook.com, I do believe, is making the supposition that we are going to get World War Hulk. And I need Savage Hulk, love the Red Hulk. Let me see. We need that movie. I'll be completely honest. I don't know that it's setting up that. I don't know that we don't even have the FF or the X-Men and the Avengers. Who the heck knows what's going on with the Avengers? I don't know that that's setting that up. I think what they needed to do was they needed an excuse to remove Bruce from the show. They needed an excuse to get Bruce off of the planet. And that's basically why they did what they did, right? Because he came in, he served his purpose of helping her to become to become She-Hulk, and they needed to remove him from it so that she could go on to basically be the Hulk that we want her to be without any more interference from the brother. So, or the cousin or whatever. Cousin, I think cousin, right? So I think that that's it. Let me see. There you go. Frank, I'm saying the same thing. I think that that's what it's more about than about them setting up World War Hulk laying the smackdown on everybody else. So again, we will see. The article actually makes that point that they're setting up Secret Invasion, but I think that Secret Invasion is tied with World War Hulk, so that's how they're trying to stagger everything. They're trying to structure it that way. At the end of the day, we will see. At the end of the day, we will see. What is that? I grew up in the 90s, love Smart Hulk and other characters like Beast. I like the MCU playing in that contrast between strength and intelligence. I think they should have played the sad music from the 70s Hulk show. Oh, bro, that music is classic. That's classic music, no doubt about it. Disney might have finally the distro rights for Hulk back from Universal Summer 2023. The distribution rights, got it. Scrolling through, we do have the Illuminati. We technically do have the Illuminati. Kind of, sort of. The Gray Hulk. Ooh, that would be a beast to say. Isn't Marvel about to get the full rights to the Hulk? I think somebody else was making that. I think somebody was making that same point. It's been a while since I looked into any of the rights around the Incredible Hulk, so I can't speak to that one. I would be doing it totally off the cusp with no research. So She-Hulk, what is that? Lost the comment. She-Hulk is light and funny, absolutely entertaining. Again, it's a fun show. At the end of the day, it's a fun show that I am enjoying. I am enjoying it, no doubt about it. Let me see. All right. I think I'm all caught up here. All right. So again, let me give you guys a rundown of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. I think we have a couple of cool videos that are going to be dropping. I'm hoping that I can get things together so that I can release the CGC top 10 countdown list. And this is a list that I get from CGC where they send me all of the books that have been submitted into CGC in high volume. And it's technically a list of 20. I run down the top 10 from that list and report that out in a video. Fingers crossed that I can release that video this week. If not, I have backup videos that I will drop out there. I'm actually going to be releasing a video in which I show you my Marvel trading card submission. I did a submission the other day, so we're going to go through that submission. For those that are interested in Marvel trading cards, I actually go step by step through the submission process. I kind of combined it all in one. Also going to be unboxing this on Wednesday. These are the Spider-Man metal cards that are all the rage right now. Look how small that box is. This box, I do believe, I've heard reports that this box is going for $500, which is a crazy amount of money. I'm hoping I get some good stuff in this, but we are going to unbox this on Wednesday as part of the Comics Today show. In addition to that, I'm also going to be releasing a video in which I show you all some books that are going with me to my grave. Literally. Just some really cool books that will be in my collection long term. If I sell off a bunch of stuff and dump my entire collection, there's going to be a handful of books that I'm definitely going to keep, and I'm going to show you several of those books in a video that's coming out this week. And for those that don't know, all of my pre-recorded videos drop at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we have a live show on Wednesday that happens at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in addition to that, we will be releasing a podcast on Monday morning. We do it every single Monday morning at 10 a.m. And all you have to do is to search for Regie Collects on your preferred podcasting platform, and you will be able to find me there. One other thing I will say to you is that if you are interested in checking out Isolation issue number 2, we have a Kickstarter going on right now. There's a lot of confusion around the Kickstarter. We are using issue 1 to raise funds to print issue 2. So don't be confused when you go there and everything seems to be about issue 1. It's to raise funds to fund the printing for issue 2. If you are a retailer, retailers will still be able to purchase Isolation issue 2 for distribution in their LCSs and virtual shops. There is no change there. The Kickstarter is all about giving people really awesome comics from issue 1, various versions of issue 1's cover, as well as giving people an opportunity to get the ash can and also an early copy of issue number 2. So that's basically the Kickstarter. All the details are on the Kickstarter campaign. I think we're only 35% funded. So fingers crossed we can get some more people involved in that. Either way, issue 2 of Isolation is coming before the end of the year. So there you go. All right. All right, cool. I think I'm all wrapped up. What is that? The books behind Regie must have a theme. I think it's probably one of the easier themes for people to figure out, Matt Woods, no doubt. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. I hope that you guys have fun during the show. I know that I certainly did. A lot of really good content coming up from the channel this week that I hope you guys will tune into. And as always, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.
My body ate itself until it found its passion. They got fat while we starved, but it's power in fasting. Until I turn to ashes, I remain stoic through my rap heroics. I painted 10,000 poems, then I drank the potion of poetry and motion. I started choking, it was potent. My throat chakra downloaded, knowledge hungry. I was embarrassed I could ask my parents for money when I had a full tummy. So I asked for wisdom, better than crypto, sweeter than honey. I don't take it for granted,